Demon Slayer Season 4, Episode 5. The Hashira training continues. Tanjiro makes his way to Mitsuri. She takes him by the hand and whisks him off to the eating hall, letting him know she's about to make him some black tea and very buttery pancakes. She is just so delightful. No wonder Iguru was head over heels for her. Now Tanjiro has never had pancakes or butter before. He didn't even know how to eat the pancakes, so she sliced the first piece for him and fed it to him, and he was in heaven. He said pancakes are to die for, and I have to agree with that. I had some this morning. Long as you know what you're doing, what's better than buttery pancakes in the morning? She then had everyone put on leotards, and the flexibility training began. Flexibility is a very important component to making your moves more crisp. Now when she stepped in and showed them the right way to stretch, oh, it looked painful. My glutes, hamstrings, and calf muscles hurt just looking at the agony on the Demon Slayers' faces. Poor Tanjiro. Thankfully he survived those crazy stretches in one piece. Then he was off to train with the Snake Hashira. Now this training was insane and left no room for error. Iguro showed him how it's done. He needed to hit the targets in between all the tied up Demon Slayers while moving at a very high speed. This is a great training to get your strikes more accurate. Now a few Demon Slayers will get a black eye and lose some teeth while you're developing, but hey, in the long run, it will be worth it. He also had to spar against Iguro inside of the maze of tied up Demon Slayers, and Iguro was lighting him up. It's impressive how they were using the same wooden sword, but Iguro was able to make it bend and maneuver through the Demon Slayers like a snake. Now why he was going so hard on Tanjiro was because he hated Tanjiro. After he got word, Mitsuri made him some black tea, and not just any type of pancake, but buttery pancakes, and she thought he looked adorable while eating them. Yeah, he was enjoying lumping up Tanjiro. And the other reason why this training was so difficult for Tanjiro was because he was in his own way by constantly hesitating. He could hear the inner voice of all the Demon Slayers begging him pretty please not to hit them. When fighting a demon, you can't control where the fight takes place. If it happens to happen in the mountains where there's trees all over the place and the terrain is uneven, you still need to be able to effectively move around and best the demon or die. Tanjiro trained day in and day out, and in 4 days he was so used to moving through the maze of Demon Slayers and got so sharp with his sword skills he could visualize that he was really fighting in the mountains. He was able to keep up with the speed of the Snake Hashira and dodge his attacks. Not only that, but he was able to get off attacks of his own. This training would come to an end when Tanjiro became skilled enough to land an attack on Iguro, and in only 4 days he succeeded in landing an attack of his own. Tanjiro's potential is crazy. Now the drills with the Wind Hashira were very straightforward. All the Demon Slayers had to do was attack them together, but if they weren't able to best them, the training wouldn't stop until they either vomited or blacked out, and they got no breaks. This training was so harsh, Zenitsu wanted to run away from the Wind Hashira. Beat up, battered, and bruised, Tanjiro was on his way to take another bath when he came across Genya and Sanemi arguing. Sanemi was telling Genya that he doesn't have a little brother, that Genya should quit being a Demon Slayer because he isn't really a Demon Slayer if he can't use breathing techniques. But Genya let him know that he developed his own fighting style. He eats demons, and we see that that's just as an effective fighting style as using breathing techniques. But hearing Genya eats demons, the things that ruined their family, the things Sanemi hated more than anything, he couldn't control himself and the anger took over. He attacked his little brother, trying to permanently blind Genya in both eyes. Luckily, Tanjiro was able to save Genya. Sanemi's intentions were to injure Genya so bad that he'd never be able to fight again. But Tanjiro wasn't going to let that happen. He explained how Genya is so strong, in fact, they would not have been able to defeat an Upper Moon without his help. He told Zenitsu to get Genya out of there while he fought the Wind Hashira, and he actually was holding his own against Sanemi. Not only did he properly defend one of his attacks, but he actually landed one of his own as well. Sanemi now wanted to injure Tanjiro to the point where Tanjiro could no longer fight either, but that would be harder than it looked. Tanjiro leveled up so much from the last time they seen each other. He's actually very close to the level of a Hashira right now. The other Demon Slayers jumped in to break the fight up, and when it was all said and done, Tanjiro's training with Sanemi was cancelled, and he was banned from even going anywhere near the Wind Hashira. So him and Zenitsu went to the Stone Hashira training grounds. Walking through the woods, they saw 4 Demon Slayers standing under a waterfall. Shout out to Inosuke for making it to the last Hashira training before they did. We also see the stone pillars sitting inside of a ring of fire like it's nothing. This was another great episode. I do think Sanemi and Iguro really need to work on their anger problems, and Zenitsu needs to learn how to have way more courage when he's awake, because they will need all the training and help they can get when the war against Muzan and his demon army starts. Let me know your thoughts below, like and subscribe, and I'll see y'all in the next one.